I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. It was so good. It was literally so perfect. Hello, I'm doing yet another 24-hour reading challenge. Ever since I did the version of this video where I just had a timer on my phone and I would just pause it whenever I wasn't reading, but it spanned over multiple days, I found that I actually really enjoy doing these. So here I am again doing yet another one. The books I'm going to try, emphasis on try, so hard to stick to, are my August TBR. If you did not see that video though, I'll just do a quick run through. I'm choosing from A Fate Inked in Blood, Lord of the Flies, Pride and Prejudice, Evenings and Weekends, and Margot's Got Money Troubles. I'm gonna tell you with 100% confidence, I'm not gonna read this book. This was just because it fit the prompt. I'm being real with myself. I'm literally not gonna read this. I'm not gonna read this month. I'm not gonna read this probably this year. So this, it's gonna go ahead and go to the side. I'm not picking that up. I know that I'm gonna pick up this one first. I only just read the first chapter like a couple minutes ago. I'm on chapter 2. The first chapter was great. I want to continue it, so we're gonna pick this up first. And then I think next on my list is gonna be Margot's Got Money Troubles because I am 108 pages into it, and I think that's, I don't know, that just sets me at an advantage and I want to finish this book. I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer and sit down with this book and read for just a little bit. Here's my timer. Start. Now says 21 hours and 47 minutes and 6 seconds left, and I got to page 155 in A Fate Inked in Blood. I have something to say about this book though. There is a plot device being used to make this a forbidden romance, and I hate it. I think I'm gonna say what it is, so I'm gonna put like the timestamps of like what I'm talking about. So it's fully a spoiler. So like I said, skip this section if you don't want to hear it. But basically there's Freya, the main female character, and her love interest, Bjorn. It's B-J-O-R-N. I don't know how to say that. I think it's Bjorn. I don't know. From the beginning of this book, you know these people are supposed to be like the main love interests. And Freya's has to get married to Bjorn's dad. What do you mean? What do you mean? She's married to his dad. And so then it's a forbidden romance. That's crazy. Back to the non-spoiler section. If I am able to overlook this one glaring fact in the story, maybe I can like the whole entire book, because honestly it is really interesting. I love the fact that it's like a Norse mythology inspired book. Honestly, the most I know about Norse mythology is from the Thor movies, so it's like I'm not super well versed in it, but I have enough knowledge to know what's happening or like the things that they talk about. And it's also because it's like such a forbidden romance, it is kind of lusty at the beginning. It's probably gonna be lusty until somehow the forbidden romance element gets resolved. I don't really know how that's gonna work, but I just feel like I want to sit down with the author and be like, girl, you could have used so many other plot devices to make this a forbidden romance. Why did you have to choose this one? I'm gonna be done reading for today, but I am really interested in it, and I feel like I did kind of fly through it. Like, I got to almost 200 pages in the first day of reading it. And also, I feel like I'm very motivated by the fact that it's quite short, and the chapters are pretty short, and overall, like I said, it's pretty interesting. So that's my update for today, and I will update tomorrow when I start the timer. Blood, and I'm so annoyed. So I didn't really update that much while I was reading the book because it was like a good, solid, okay romantasy. I felt that way until I had around 150 pages left, because at that point I feel like we were losing the plot. I have some questions. How could a book be this short but still feel like it was dragging at times but also rushed at other times? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why did we spend so much time on certain plot points if they really didn't even matter that much in the end, and then like cram a million plot points into the last 150 pages? Oh, it makes me so mad. Like, it feels like this book was supposed to be longer, and I know it's a duology, so obviously things get wrapped up in the second book, but like, I just don't, I'm just so confused. Like, sorry, I'm also so mad. I was even looking up like to see how much this book was, or to buy the second book. When I was halfway through the book, I was like, I'm enjoying this a decent amount. I like it enough to get the second book and to continue the series, but I do not feel that way as my ultimate conclusion of this book. I'm gonna give this book 2 stars. Where were we going? What are we talking about? What are we doing? What's the goal? Like, this book is kind of just all over the place, and my feelings about it are all over the place. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. I was 50 pages away from the end, and I was like, should I DNF this book? I'm so irritated. I feel like the beginning was dragging on for so long. No, I didn't feel that way. I thought it was fine. It was okay, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm especially mad because it was making sense. I was following along. I was enjoying it. And then it felt like, honestly, so much changed in this book that it started to feel like a different book. Also, the issue that I had with the beginning of it, with like the plot point that makes it a forbidden romance, never really gets resolved. They kind of just ignore it. So that's gross. Don't like that. Also, the romance was not that great. So this book, I just am so disappointed, to be honest. I had high hopes when I was reading it. I didn't even have high hopes going into the book. When I started reading it, I started getting high hopes, and they were crushed. I feel like I'm not saying that much about it though. The romance was kind of lacking. The plot was good, and then until it became lacking. The main character was fine. I do really feel like her character arc was going in a completely different direction that didn't make any sense, or it just wasn't like backed up enough. I feel like they started bringing her family again from like the beginning chapters, and I feel like that didn't make any sense. This book kind of felt like a fever dream, and I don't think it was really for me. Honestly, I feel like I don't have anything else to say, except that I'm really sad that I'm gonna continue the series. I'm not gonna read the second book. Okay. I do have 17 hours and 5 minutes. My next book is going to be Margot's Got Money Troubles. Yeah, I'm 108 pages into this book. I'm gonna pick this one up next, and obviously just keep the timer going as I'm reading. I started reading the Ex Vows by Jessica Joyce because my Libby hold came in for it, and honestly, I don't know if I really want to read this book. We'll figure that out later. That's not my problem right now. But I am 30% into the Ex Vows, and I still have 15 hours and 48 minutes. But this book is really good so far. It's a second chance romance, so the main female character, Georgia, and the main male character, Eli, used to date growing up. Well, I guess they were more best friends first, and then they were in a relationship and they lived together and then broke up, and now they have to see each other because their mutual best friend, it's like a little trio, so the two of them and then this other guy, so the other guy is getting married and they're both his like best man slash woman. So like they have to be in his wedding and they're like helping him plan everything, and everything for the wedding keeps going wrong. So they're having to like manage a lot of tasks together. And also specifically because we're in Georgia's point of view, I know that like she's obviously fighting a lot of feelings about seeing him again, because they usually don't see each other for so long, and it's really good so far. I just also wanted to say that I did not start reading the book that I said I was going to, and I switched books, but yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I hoped honestly to have less time on my timer today, even though I didn't read it all yesterday. I don't know, I'm trying to cut down on this time. I feel like it's a little bit too high still, so I'm gonna get back to reading. I finished the Ex Vows earlier today. I currently have 12 hours, 36 minutes, and 32 seconds left on my timer, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a review because I absolutely loved this book. I give it 5 stars. I love it so much. Why is it doing that? I'm not usually the biggest fan of second chance romance, but this book is literally so amazing. I also think it's probably one of the most realistic depictions of second chance romance, because they met when they were really young, and well, okay, actually all of the points that I had to back up why I feel like it's really realistic are quite common in most other second chance romances. So I do still think it's really realistic though. And I also, something I really appreciated is that towards the end of the book, instead of just having a major conflict, they both kind of just took space to like figure themselves out and then come back together like better and more capable of a relationship with each other. It was so good. It was literally so perfect. Like I don't even know what to say besides I loved it so much and it was so perfect. So honestly, that's what I'm gonna leave it at. I highly recommend this book and I think you should definitely read it. As far as what I'm gonna read next, I know I said that I was gonna continue this book and I wanted to finish it because I only have like half of it left and whatever and this and that. I don't want to read this book. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read this book at all. So we're actually just gonna set that to the side. I technically have more of a TBR to follow. I could read Pride and Prejudice or Evenings and Weekends, and I don't think I'm going to. I know, that's so annoying. I chose a TBR. Why am I not following it? Because I'm just not in the mood for any of those books. I don't really know entirely what I am in the mood for. Actually, I could read another book that's technically on my TBR, which is the 3rd book in the Apprentice to the Villain series. Is it Accomplice? Apprentice, Assistant? No, Assistant, Apprentice, Accomplice. I think it's Accomplice to the Villain. I could read that. So that's an option. I might download that and see how I feel and decide if I want to keep reading it or not. I also have Rose in Chains by Julie Soto downloaded on my Kindle, so I could read that. But I really don't know what I'm in the mood for, so I might do like I might download a couple books and read the beginnings, like the first couple pages to see how I feel and then decide. Sorry, this like light is really bothering me, this spot that's on my face. But yeah, I think I might shop around a little bit and then decide what I want to read, and I'll just pick up the camera and show you whatever I land on when I finally figure out what I'm gonna read. Doing great at this challenge. I still have 11 hours and 46 minutes left, but I read to page 43 in Accomplice to the Villain. I mean, I do already have things to say about this book because I'm already loving it. We have another POV unlocked by the cutest character ever. I'm literally so ecstatic about this POV, and I'm starting, okay, to be honest, I remember the really big points of the book before this one, but I don't remember the exact details connecting all of the major plot points, but things are starting to come back to me. I'm starting to, put the pieces together and really get into this story, but I'm also just like ecstatic because I really do love Sage. Oh, Evie Sage, the main female character, and then the villain, Tristan. They're literally so cute. I literally am like giggling and smiling the entire time they're interacting with each other every single time they talk to each other. But yeah, I should have read more today, and I didn't. I got really distracted, which is not a good excuse. However, I have more faith in tomorrow me, and hopefully the next day. I don't know. I still almost have 12 hours. For some reason, I'm always like, 24-hour challenges aren't that bad. I don't know why I ever think that. because then I start doing that. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of reading. But yeah, I'm really excited about this book. Hopefully I'll be able to make a good amount of progress tomorrow, so I have more thoughts to share with you besides just I love it and it's so cute. But yeah, that's my update for now, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, I have 9 hours, 29 minutes, 20 seconds left, and I got to page 160 and Accomplice to the Villain, and honestly that's only thanks to the audiobook. I started panicking about my time and how I have a lot of stuff to do and I can't just sit down and read, so I got the audiobook for Accomplice to the Villain, and I'm not enjoying the audiobook, but I am enjoying the book, so that's so annoying. I feel like the way that the author writes, it's definitely cheesy, but like it's so much cheesier via audiobook. It's like cringy via audiobook, but like when I'm reading it, I'm still giggling and I still think it's cute and fun. Audiobook, not my favorite, but it is good enough to get, I mean, I listened to a couple hours of it yesterday, so it's like not the worst audiobook I've ever listened to, but it's definitely not my favorite. I'm still gonna be listening to some of the audiobook today because I need to go to the library and get some work done, and then I hope to be doing some other hobbies later, which means I'm going to put on an audiobook. The plot of the story though, I don't know, I also feel like any negative thoughts I have about this book right now is because of the audiobook, because I feel like it's so cheesy and it's a little bit repetitive, where I don't know, I feel like it's a lot of the same, like I don't know how to explain this, which is really annoying because I'm supposed to be explaining it to you. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about the things that I do like because I know that I have good reason for liking them instead of questioning why I don't like certain parts of the book. Anyways, so I really like the fact that we get a lot more point of views in this book, and I don't even know how many it is. At least right now I know it's at least 5, and there's more characters that we could be adding POVs from, which I would be happy to. I really do like the characters. The characters are so cute and like very heartwarming, so I do like that aspect. A lot of times in some books, if there's too many POVs, it gets like a little annoying / boring / I don't care about these people, but this is not the case for this book, which is great. What else do I like? Oh, there is, okay, I can't give you complete details because what I want to share with you pertains to the second book, but the main character Evie said something to the villain in the second book, and I don't love that she did that. It kind of makes me cringe. And so then it like is getting brought up in the third book where like the villain's thinking about it. I don't know, like and it's annoying that I'm saying this because I'm being so vague, but hopefully if you read the book you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, that's my little update for now. I'm gonna keep listening to the audiobook today and obviously keep you updated on my stuff.
Lionel, he had a spear in his hand, and it was pointing out his interest in stuff. Lionel cropped to his other hand.
I have 7 hours and 35 minutes left. I'm gonna pause it so I can chat. I've gotten to 41% into Apprentice to the Villain. No, Accomplice to the Villain. And I don't like this book that much anymore. I'm afraid it is too cheesy. I was mentioning that a little bit earlier where I was like, you know, all the books have been pretty cheesy. So I'm not surprised that it is cheesy, but it's getting too cheesy. And those little cringy lines are becoming more and more frequent, which I'm not obsessed with. I also feel like the miscommunication and like the romance plot that's happening is so strong that it's just irritating me. I don't care anymore. I'm not loving this anymore, unfortunately, but 7 hours and 35 minutes, I feel like I should be able to read another book in that amount of time. But what book is the question? I honestly think I might choose something from my Kindle because I feel like I read those books pretty fast. I don't know, this one fantasy book has like four stars as a rating on Goodreads. I kind of want to read this. It's called The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. Ooh, somebody in the Goodreads reviews said like 6 of Crows but grown up. I'm sold. Okay. Let me look up if I have to buy this because I don't think it's on Kindle. Okay, that's what I'm gonna choose, but I might read a little bit tonight, but I'm not gonna film anymore. So I will update you tomorrow. It's the next day. I'm at Barnes & Noble though because I have 7 hours still on my timer. 7 hours exactly. Anyways, and I obviously have to finish it today. Today's the last day that I can finish this. So I'm gonna read a little bit at Barnes & Noble and then go home and read because I don't want to be trapped in my apartment all day reading. But yeah, that's my update. Oh, actually also because I started The Mask of Mirrors and I think I'm on chapter 1. I read the prologue and part of chapter 1 because the chapters are like 20 minutes long. Anyways, it's pretty good so far. I have no issues, so I'm gonna keep reading. I decided to start the audiobook for The Mask of Mirrors because the world, the universe that the author has created has the weirdest names I've ever seen, and I found myself really struggling with like how to pronounce things or really just read them in general. So the audiobook is helping me a lot. I still have 4 hours. In 15 minutes, it says I'm going to finish at 11:50. That makes me want to cry. But other than that, I think it's really good so far. I do see the similarities to Six of Crows, but I really just think it's like the world, the setting. I feel like just the vibe is similar. Like the vibe of the world of The Mask of Mirrors is similar to the vibe of the world in Six of Crows. But right now in The Mask of Mirrors, they're talking a lot about like royal or like noble families, and like I think that's also what's so confusing is like the person's name will be relatively easy to understand, but it's like they belong to this house and their family is of this position in the like government or whatever, so it's like a lot of terms that I'm not understanding. But like I said, the audiobook is really helping, so I'm gonna keep listening. And honestly, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna finish it tonight or tomorrow because I don't think I'm gonna stay up till 11:50. That's ridiculous. I'll probably stop at like 10:30 and probably finish. I'm probably gonna finish it tomorrow because not finish the whole book because sorry, I feel like I'm saying a million things at the same time. On Kindle it said I had like 13 hours in the book when I first started, so I don't think I'll finish the entire book for this video. However, I will give you my thoughts, still non-spoiler, up to the point that I get to. But I think I'll be like pretty close to being finished. I don't know, we'll see when we get there, but I'm listening to the audiobook right now and I will update you later on my thoughts, and probably I'm gonna tell you that I'm not gonna finish it tonight and I'll finish it tomorrow. Okay, the 24-hour timer just went off, so my challenge is finally over. Thank God. This did take me way too long. I'm literally editing this video right now because I need to get this out, but I'm still doing the challenge. Or I was, at least. I only got to page 232, which I feel like is really bad. But I will admit, in the last like 5 hours like that I was supposed to be reading yesterday and today, I got extremely distracted multiple times. So I did not get as far as I wanted to, unfortunately. However, I don't know, 31%, at least I can give you a substantial first, like, mini review because I do think this book is really good. I do highly suggest the audiobook, though, because the amount, like I mentioned earlier in this video, the amount of names and pronunciations, and not only names, but also, like, titles and political positions, as well as some also religious names. Basically, there's just like a lot of information, and for some reason it's a lot easier to listen to the information and understand what's happening than read it. I don't really know. I don't know how to explain that. That sounds really, like, kind of stupid, but I highly suggest the audiobook because I'm keeping up with the story a lot better that way. What else? I like the characters a lot. I am getting very similar vibes to Six of Crows, but like it's really not all that similar. I think it's just mainly like generally the vibe, which I hate saying that because that's so vague, but honestly it is just the vibe is very similar. And also there's a drug in this world that is similar to the drug that was in Six of Crows. I think I'm like 80% sure they're pretty similar. I did read Six of Crows several years ago though, so I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, still pretty similar vibes, not necessarily similar characters or similar stories or similar plot lines. So I am going to continue reading this book. Honestly, the biggest gripe I have with it is the fact that the chapters are like 30 to 40 minutes, at least listening wise, but reading wise, they're like 20 to 30 minutes, which is crazy. So I hate that, but I mean, that's not a reason to not read a book. So I still suggest it. Also, I don't remember if I said this earlier, but I said that I've never heard of this book before, which is true. But then I looked it up on TikTok, and every TikTok video about it was like, this is all over BookTok, but this is what I think. And I feel stupid for saying, like, how have I not seen this on TikTok? Anyways. Oh, I'm gonna do like a recap though, because I have thoughts. I am just going to do like a little final recap of the whole entire video in case you forgot what I read and how I felt about it. But the first book I read and finished was Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, and I gave this 2 stars. Yeah, I gave this 2 stars, and I stand by that. I had a lot of hope for this book, and it severely disappointed me. So unfortunately that's 2 stars, and I will not be finishing this duology. And then I brought this book up several times, but I never actually picked it up and read it. And therefore I never finished it, but Margot's Got Money Troubles is a softie enough for me right now. I'm going to keep it on my bookshelves. I'm not going to unhaul it or anything, but I'm going to revisit this probably in a couple months. Like, I just need to get away from it and then want to go back to it. And then I read The Ex Vows by Jessica Joyce, and I give it 5 stars. I can't believe I have a 2-star and a 5-star in this video. That's crazy. Anyways, it's literally so good. I haven't stopped thinking about that book, honestly. I want to reread it. I want to go buy the physical copy and annotate it because it's so adorable, cute, gorgeous. I love the love story. It actually like aches in my heart how much I really like this book, which is ridiculous. And also, especially because it's a romance book, like romance books usually do not grip me like this, but this one has a chokehold on me. So I highly suggest reading this book if you haven't. And then I started Accomplice to the Villain, and I fully DNF'd that book. I will not be picking it up, unfortunately. Okay. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it's like I'm never going to go back to it, but I think there's only going to be 4 books in the series, so this is like obviously the 3rd one. I kind of feel like it was very much just a filler book. I might just read the summary of it before the 4th book comes out and maybe read the 4th book because the first 2 books were pretty good. The first one was kind of slow, but it had plot. The second one was really good. I thought the second one was really, really good. I think I gave it 4 stars. Like, I really enjoyed that one. Unfortunately, the 3rd one was just not hitting for me. It was way too cheesy, way too cringy, way too repetitive, and although there were a lot of plot points happening, it kind of felt like nothing was happening at the same time, which was pissing me off. So that one is a DNF. And then finally, The Mask of Mirrors, which I'm still reading, and I just told you my thoughts on, and you'll probably hear my full thoughts on it in an official wrap-up whenever I do one of those next. But yeah, thank you for watching my video. Hopefully I will see you next week for next week's video, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.